Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I have the toughest time getting all that stuff turned off. Yeah, good morning. I don't know why. I really do. How's everybody doing today out there? Let's make sure we have sound. Trading room, good morning. Hey, Jim, Coach, Mike, Tommy, Roger, how are you? MSH, good morning. Can everybody hear me there? Vernon, hey, good morning. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see, I think we have sound. Okay. All right. Roger, silver put should work today. I hope so. I hope so. Thank you, Sharon. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, today we've got PNC, State Street, MT Bank, and Regions reporting. So keep an eye there. Thank you very much for sending that to me. I greatly appreciate it. Mucho. Yeah. Here it is Friday. Thank you, everybody, for being here. The Hit and Run Candlesticks, Charts, and Targets pre-market show. Appreciate you being here. Today is Friday, January 16th, 2026. Remember, we have a market is closed Monday, okay? So please keep that in mind. Hey, I want to start today with the mags right here, and I want to kick it off with 4 charts that I've remapped some targets on it that I think maybe are worth looking at, okay? And then we'll look at some charts you guys have. So I really, give me a list. Sure would like it. So anyway, I think my desk is too low. There we go. I want to talk about the mags here. I'm a little concerned. Okay. Now overall, we're going to go to the SPY, and I'm going to show you how the SPY is still bullish, and diamonds are still bullish, and IWM is still bullish. And the Qs are hanging on. But I think this is kind of important, because I do think that when it comes to, who's got the power, those mag stocks, man, I got to tell you, they're animals, they're Goliaths, they're huge. They're massive. And I know that, we may be looking at some rotation, but it's my personal opinion. I don't care about that. When there's a fist fight between everything in the stock market and the big boys, when there's a fight, those big boys are going to win. They wield a massive amount of money, and we have to be careful there, okay? And maybe it doesn't drag the market all the way down. Maybe it doesn't do that. But it sure will cause the market to be in this sloppy trading. Sorry, I turned something off there, distracting me. There you go. It'll create this sideways, this choppy trading that a lot of traders lose money in, but we're determined to trade in it, right? So here's what we have here with mags. And let me get my drawing tools out real quick. I will change yellow. Right here, for those that's not familiar with a blue ice failure, what that is the 50-period moving average. That's the blue line. And then price, we get below that blue line and we can't get back above it. And then what happens is it starts to fall, all right? Well, we have a trend line here, right? So we go from this low, and I'm going to put it right here. That's where we had it. Well, now we're below the trend line. So we're setting up for this blue ice failure. And the targets that I use to the downside for this, just straight, simple targets, are going to be what we call the dotted deuce right here, which matches up with the low November 21. The second target would be down toward the 200-period moving average down here. Now, again, while if this falls, it may not crash the market. It might not. I mean, we could see some pullback, but I do think at the bare minimum, it's going to cause this trashy trading, and you have to be careful in trashy trading. Okay, so we need to watch this real closely. Now, I've got an example of a blue ice failure that I know a couple of members in our trading room is in it. And I entered yesterday in it. I entered a little late compared to some other people. But let me show you an example of a blue ice failure. Let's take a look at Apple. This is a blue ice failure right here. See how price went below the 50 period moving average and it couldn't get up. Well, we've got members that went short up into here, and I went short yesterday. And here's the targets I'm looking at down into this area here. So, down into the 246 maybe, and then if it really gets weaker, we'll look for something in the 230, 235 area, something like that. So that's an example of blue ice failure. I think maybe even Meta might be. Yeah, Meta. Go look over here at Meta. Blue ice failure. That's what it is. So pay attention to the mags. When you're looking at charts, make sure you look at that and just see how they're going, because they do wheel a huge stick. And if they get out of hand, it could hurt the market. Here's the Qs. Now, the Qs aren't doing that bad. They're really, really not, but they're not doing great. They're not leading. They're not up there with, say, IWM and the diamonds. We'll go look at those in a minute. They are really behind, and they're hanging on, rotation maybe from those biggies into some other tech, and that's what's helping this, and into other positions. But if it starts to break down, we could be in trouble. So I just want to point that out, okay? It's just an observation. Last night I was looking at things. Let's take a look at RSP real quick. RSP is rocking, and let's go back to SPY, all right? The SPY is not doing, actually, I think the SPY is doing fantastic. It's like this, climbing this wall of worry, and it's working. Yesterday I mentioned in the trading room, cautiously bullish, cautiously, emphasize cautiously bullish. So we're just climbing, but we need to keep our eyes on those other tools like the mags, and keep your eyes on those. Keep your eyes on the VIX. If the VIX starts picking up, that gives you some clues. So watch that. Take a look at IWM. IWM is rocking, maybe getting a little bit high here. Now, let's go back to that RSP real quick, because I forgot to say, why is RSP moving up like this and the SPY is not? And that's because the SPY is very heavy tech loaded, and the tech is not doing great. Okay, so that's pulling the SPY down. And what RSP does is it flattens everything out, makes everybody kind of equal. You're playing on the same field. So this shows there is some rotation, but again, if those mags really, really let go, I'm not sure there's enough rotation to save it. Okay, so be careful there. Take a look at the diamonds. Diamonds are set in. That's actually a very nice chart, and a ascending triangle. An ascending triangle is when you have flat trading like this, and then we're rocking up, making higher lows, and we're looking for that breakout. Diamonds are rocking, man. They are looking really good. Take a look at IYT. IYT, I think IYT is looking great. I know we're down here this pre-market, but I think that's a great looking chart. SMH, I think that's looking good. Maybe a little high. It may need a little rest up here. It maybe jumped up a little too quick. But overall, the trend's your friend. The trend is where it's at, and then you trade price within your trend. Bottom line, this market, these clever little words that people come up with, like a stock picker's market, for instance. This is what I would call a stock picker's market. And so you have to focus on your best trade ideas. How do you get your best trade ideas? You go through the charts, however you do that. Maybe you wait for somebody to give them to you. Maybe you scan for them. Maybe you just go through charts just one after another till you find it. However you find charts, focus on them, dedicate yourself to them, and manage them in a very positive way. Cut your losses. If they're not working, they're not working, and take profits on the way up in strength. So anyway, that is my market right there. Let's talk about some stocks. I want to talk about CRWV here. This is one that we've been trading in the room, and I made some adjustments on it. I've got some new target for it, and I think CRV, a good target that I'm going to look at, is up here in around the 125 mark. I've made some adjustments with our lines. We've gone through target number 1. There's target number 2, target number 3. Now, please keep in mind when you're trading, while I do believe that we go up there, and that's the target that I'm going to be looking for, please keep in mind that at any given time, we can have a pullback, and that's okay. That's what charts do. And then, then it might start moving up again, and then we might do it again. So this is what I do in swing trading. I look for the charts that's ready for that swing to move up, and then take profits into strength, let it pull back, and then wait for that swing again, that buy signal, and watch for that next swing. So that's what I'm going to do. Monitor CRWV. Right now, it is not in buy territory for me. It's going to need to pull back a little bit. This is the 200 period moving average right here. And this is a very good spot for maybe it to rest, consolidate, and I will look for that entry in there on that one. The other one I have is LUNR. I think LUNR is a nice one. Let's pull this down a little bit. There you go. Target 1, 2, 3 right there. 1, 2, 3. I think LUNR can get to 45. And LUNR could go to 100. Okay. I'm not saying that that's the top, but this is part of my trade plan. So I'm looking at LUNR here, watching for an entry, which, by the way, it's an entry right now. That's a nice 3-8 trap here. And there's target 1, target 2, target 3. Pretty big space between those, but that's just the way this one works out. Again, you're when we take off, assuming we move up, we're going to have, let me get my crayons out. Assuming something starts like this, I will guarantee you at some point that, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Hold on here. Tool, frame, there we go. At some point, you're going to have stock, have it do this before it goes up here. You would be truly amazed the people that email me and say, Rick, you said this was a target, and they buy it today, and they're just all pissed off because we had a down day. These are people that do not know how to trade. These are people that do not belong anywhere in trading because they refuse to take, some sort of mentorship, something to learn how to trade, or even watch a free video on our YouTube account. So, please understand that just because that's the target, you're still going to have pullbacks. But I do think LUNR runs up there. Another one is CRML. I think this is one we need to keep an eye on. Target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4. Same scenario. UUUU is one. There we go. UU, this is the last one I'll have. UUUU up here between $40 and $45. This is sitting in a 3-8 trap right now. That's one of the sweetest entries there are. For those of you that may be running through our social media and you're not clicking on the button to download our 3-8 trap ebook, well, you should stop and click on the button and download that 3-8 trap ebook, and it will help explain a little bit about the 3-8 trap. So I think we're doing pretty good there. Okay. All right. That's what I have. Do you guys have anything? Let's take a look at ANET. ANET. There we go. Look at that. Here, let me open this up a little bit. There we go. ANET, that just might be setting up, putting in a little bottom. We're going to need to get through that 50% retracement area right here to really make some big money. We're going to really have to do that. We need to turn that 50 period moving average around. So we need price to move up. Once we get up through there, I think that might be a buy. One thing we want to be careful of is the cloud is sitting right here, right where our target is. So the top of the cloud, excuse me. So I really think above 140 is where ANET might come into a good trade, above 140. Let's see here. Sonny, good morning. Uber. I don't know. Uber looks short to me. So, I mean, here we've got this blue ice failure. We talked about this on that MAGS chart and that Apple chart. Here we've got this blue ice failure. We failed it again. We have failed it again. It still looks short. So if I was looking to the downside to short this, I'm going to take this low and come up to this high. Through that 50% mark, there's your targets right here. Target 1, duplicate, target 2, and then I think I kind of I better look at this a little bit. Yeah, that's good. And that's what I would look at. So through that 50% mark, Uber is looking short. Thank you for that one. I'm going to actually write that one down. Uber. Have some shorts on the table, ready to go. What else do you have here? RBLX. That's another one set up short. My own daily? Wow. That's another one. See this blue ice failure? Bang, all the way down. And we're still failing. Nothing here suggests we're going up. Nothing at all suggests we're going up on RBLX. So I'd still look at that short. AME here. Bullish, nice. Let's pull this down a little bit. There we go. AME, that's a nice chart. A very nice trend here. You're getting good lows and highs and lows and highs and lows and highs. Excellent. Looks like we're trying to do a J-hook breakout here. That looks fantastic. Thank you for that one. Looks good. Hey, Emma, good morning. How you doing? How's life in the fast lane? AMSL, nice gap. Hey, I want to remind everybody that gaps are gifts. It's always good to take a little money off the table on gaps. There are times when you might want to keep it. Maybe you're trading this long term. Maybe you own it for, you're planning on this thing going much, much, much higher, so you don't really worry about it. But if you're a swing trader, gaps are gifts. So with this one, I mean, unless it fails, man, rock on, and just have that stop on there. Always, always protect your profits. This is so important. One of the worst things you can do as a trader, because it blows up your psyche, is if you're up, big money on something and you hold it and hold it and hold it and hold it and hold it as it moves down, and all that big money has just disappeared. Remember, you could always sell it and protect that money and then buy it again if it continues to move up. One way to think about it. That looks really nice though, Emma. I know you, so just watch that stop. That thing looks good, moving higher. Let's see, GM. Let's look at GM here. GM is headed to the 50-period moving average. That's a short moving down here. Yeah, that's what I would look for on GM. Possible short setting up. In fact, I'm going to write that down. GM. BMY. Let's look here. Nice chart. Let's write that one down, man. Actually, I think, yeah, I've already got that one flagged right here. There we go. Look at this pop out of the box on this thing. Let's get that up here. Make that. We'll make it yellow today. This is a pop out of the box. PBO box is what it is. We rally up and we're, the sideways, that's giving us an entry, a possible entry here. And of course, on the breakout, that is an entry on that. So that's looking good. I've already got targets set up on this one. The next target up looks like it's about 58.20. And then the target up there is about 60.60. That's looking really good there. Nice chart, BMY. Merck. That's another nice chart. I think there's quite a few people in Merck. We've talked about this one. Target. We're at target 1, so target 2, target 3 on Merck. Beautiful trend. You can see it setting up. Nice consolidation sideways. One above the cloud on the weekly and the daily, if anyone follows that. Great looking chart. Plan your trade, plan your entry, manage your chart, manage the market. One of the biggest things I've learned in trading is, and doesn't matter what chart you're trading. I'm going to run to the SPY real quick. As long as the market is bullish. Oh, wait a minute. I'm saying that wrong. If the market is bullish, then we can look at that long trade. But say the market does this, I don't care how good that trade looks. You're fighting. It's like salmon running upstream. Look, you may lay some eggs, but you're going to die. It's the way it is. So the market has got to be in your favor. So as long as the market is in your favor, then stocks like Merck are worth trading. So always check the stock market, okay? And I think you had one more, TJX. There we go. TJX. In my opinion, TJX probably needs to break out of 157. Overall, it's a nice chart. I love it. All right. But you want to make sure you're buying charts that other traders are buying. So here we rally up and we pull back. When we break out of that doji tweezer top, that would suggest that the buyers are serious. I mean, that's a great little chart pattern right there. But boy, I would, for buying, and with that said, anything can be bought anywhere as long as you protect your losses. So, if you have a stop on and you truly use a stop and you will truly get stopped out, then, if you want, you can buy anything, anywhere, anytime you want. But me, I would want to see the buy signal, buyers coming in. All right. Let's see here. Hey, good morning, Chuck. How are you? OPTX. Take a ooh, nice chart. Let's flag that one. Let's write that one down. OPTX. So what we've got here is this big move up, and here we're pulling back. Nice 3-8 trap right in here. That's excellent. Me again, I'm the kind of trader that I want to see bullishness. So if I can catch this, something like this, I'm not interested in buying it low. It's not what I do. But if it closed something like that, I could see myself buying that. Pretty nice chart. If somebody's looking for a $4 chart, kind of low volume. So be a little careful with it. Not something, I can tell you right now, it's not something I would take. But hey, if it's somebody's going to post it out here, I'm going to talk about it. It's but way too low volume. But it does have some potential. Okay. Let's take a look at SMR. I believe let me check. I think I'm in that. Yes. I'm currently in SMR. That's setting up right now. And we need to get above that 50 period moving average, which is that blue line. We do that, then we can get target 1 and then shoot for target 2, maybe target 3. But right now you've got a very nice, here, let's clean this up a little bit. Maybe I think I can go to that chart. There we go. That's a little cleaner. We've got a nice low high right there, nailed our top line. We came back, and here we're putting in some, looks like some support here around our trend indicator. You can see the green dots. Buyers are kind of holding in there. Sellers are kind of keeping the buyers at bay a little bit. So we need those buyers to wake up and make a move. Once we get through that area, I think we could be golden on this one, okay? What else? UNP. Look at that UNP. UNP needs a bull. UNP needs somebody to buy it. That's what I think. So I'm going to go 233. Again, anything can be bought at any place, anytime. Plan your trade. I'm planning my trade. Above 233 is what I would look at for this, because I want those bulls to step right in there. Again, I'm not the guy that's going to dive in and try to get low, because what I do, and in my opinion, it makes for safer trades and it makes for better trades, make more money. Those that buy low do not sell high. Those that buy higher sell higher. It's just a fact in trading. So it's just, there's nothing wrong with buying in here, nothing at all. Just plan your trade. I'll plan my trade here, and then I'll profit up like this. I'll bet you $100 that those that buy it here, they plan their trade and they're selling right now. So it's different sections of the chart. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. I would rather just buy when buyers are buying. Okay. When the trend is trending, that's what I'm looking for. Aklo. Aklo's another one I like. Am I in that one? Nope, I'm not in that one. Aklo is another one setting up here, waiting for that buy signal. I can tell you right now what I would look for is right there. We start moving over yesterday's candle or that white dotted line right in there. That's what I'm going to look for, a buy. And then we've got target 1, target 2, and then target 3 on Aklo. Looking good. Take a look at ASTS. Am I in that? I am in that one. I'm currently in that one, up 15.8% right now. And you can see that target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4, where we hit target 1 and target 2 yesterday. We're sitting at target 2 now. We're looking at target 3 and target 4. That's still a great looking chart. Let me move this over so I can see better. There we go. Hey, Daryl, good morning. RGTI putting a nice base. It is, yes. That's another one that, I've already got a flag. That's another one. You put in a bullish candle over that 50 period moving average, and we just might have something to go with here. So, something like that. Now I think we can work with that. Let's do this on this one, since I don't have it done. I'm going to take those highs and go down to that low. Take a look at this and make sure that's pretty close. Yeah. So this would be the 50% retracement from the high to the low. That's my main target right there. Duplicate, and there's target 3, and there's target 1 right there. That's a nice chart. So again, I mean, you can clearly see there's buyers there, and anyone can buy in there. I would rather wait, than buy and hope. I would rather wait till those buyers step in and then trade it. So when you think about this, if you buy it a little bit higher, right there is almost 9%. Right in here is 26%. Right in there is 42%. In my opinion, that's enough money. You don't need to buy it on hope. There's plenty of money, and that is good trading. That's how the Road to Wealth account gets to double, is making smart moves, smart trades. Hey, Coach, good morning to you too. CVI. Look at that. Starting to turn up. I'm looking at other things here. Starting to turn up. Yeah, let's put that on the watch list here. And I'm going to put a line right there. And that's probably what I would look for, a breakout. I would like those dots to turn red, green. They're red right now. If they turn green, then okay. Now we can look at say a 60-minute chart, and you can see they've already turned red, green. They're already set up. So for those that's looking intraday, maybe a little faster, you can go to that intraday chart, trade the same logic using price, using the T-line, using the trend indicator, using the trend. The exact same logic can be put into intraday, and it's set up on that intraday right now. Hey, Daryl, you're looking at BI. Yeah, I looked at IBIT this morning. That's setting up, definitely. We need to make sure that, in fact, I better write it down. I didn't write it down. Yeah, we better take a look at those. That Bitcoin is starting to move up. You're right. And here's BITO over the 50. I think we've got something going here. And here's this morning I was looking at IBIT, and you can see we're already over the 50. Nice little pullback. We're in that 3-8 trap right now. We've already cleared target 1. There's target 2, target 3, and we can look at target 4 up there. Okay, so IBIT is one to keep an eye on as well. ETH. There we go. Yeah, ETH is another one. See, that one's already lifted up, and with 3-8 trap, target 1, target 2, target 3. So that's one to keep an eye on right there. Definitely. Thank you very much. Hey, I want to remind everybody, thanks, Ed, that Monday is a holiday, okay? Martin Luther King's birthday, so remember that. That's part of planning for Friday. The importance of that is while you're trading Friday, you might not want to be in so many positions. Maybe you don't care, but at least you need to know that the market's closed, okay? Hello, H-Man. Planning to go long on RDW on a breakout. Let's go see. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear that. There's my 50% target, just taking from whatever this high is here, July, down to the lows. We'll get to that 50% mark, and it looks like that's going to make it. From there, a great target above is that next one right in there, RDW. That's a nice chart. Thank you very much for sharing. I'm with you on that. Hey, MDT. Oof, let's get rid of that, huh? Yeah, MDT is trying to move. That's actually in that buy territory right now. I want to look at the cloud on this one. If we can get through the cloud here, then I think you might have a good chance of maybe reaching up. But I do think we need to get through that cloud. See that downtrend? I think we do need to get through that. Okay, so it can certainly be traded right in here, but you get that breakout, then you're further ahead. CWEN right there. Ooh, nice. I'm going to kind of a buy box right here on this. This is just now breaking out of the cloud, by the way. That's a good looking chart. Watch for that entry in here. Nice. Look at the volume on this thing. One thing. Oh, I guess it's enough. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty nice chart. Pretty reasonable there. So let's keep an eye on that one. Let's flag that. Thanks, Sonny. Sharon says, beware of, let's go look, RGTI not moving. Yeah, it needs to move. We need that bullish signal in there, okay? Hey, Vernon, how are you? Take a look back at CVS. CVS is trying to break out. I've already got this one mapped out with targets, 85, and then up here at whatever that is, 93.60 here. So I'm with you on this. I mean, look at, we're trying to ride up. Here we've come below the 50 period moving average. Now we're coming back up above the 50. 50 is acting as support. Great candle bullish engulf yesterday. Looks like we're holding well today. CVS looks like a nice trade. Thank you very much. Looks good. And DAL. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna look at a 2-day chart, 3-day chart, 4-day chart. Look at that thing. Look at the 2-day chart. That's beautiful. Up, pull back. Look at the morning star in there. That's fantastic. Anyway, that's a super nice chart. Super nice chart. Yeah. So let's look for some higher numbers on that one for sure. I'm gonna do this on this one. I'm gonna go that low, and we'll go to that high right there, and then go to this candle. And then that's what I would kind of look at for targets up there. That's the one I would start with. And then there's second. So we're talking 76, 78 bucks. That looks fantastic. Thank you very much for that. All right, let's see here. Hey, Mike, you're looking at some AMD. AMD. If we can manage to stay above the 50 period moving average, targets right here, 251, 263, 276, okay? AMD is good. We have to stay above that 50 though, and let's see if that can happen. All right, I want to thank everybody for being here today. I absolutely appreciate it. This is Friday, so we won't have this get together Saturday or Sunday, but come Monday, 8:30 a.m., I would love to see everybody here either in the trading room or on our social site live right here. All righty, you guys take care. Thank you very much. We'll see you. Not Monday. I said Monday, didn't I? Tuesday. Remember, Monday's a holiday. You guys take care. Thanks a lot. Members, we'll see you in the room in about 25 minutes.